break my heart, I beg of you.
Elvis photos here on YouTube. I wanted to share with everybody these great pictures of Elvis with children and youth and discuss some of the quotes that Elvis Presley used in his lifetime. So he once said that values are like fingerprints. Nobody's are the same, but you leave them all over everything you do. It's a very wise saying there. And of course, when things go wrong, don't go with them. Now I can see this advice being for all of these younger kids and children. It's not how much you have that makes people look up to you. It's who you are. You know, and Elvis lived that idealistic life where he gave away his money, where he took care of people's hospital bills when he heard about them, gave people cars, bought people houses. So it's not how much you have that makes people look up to you. It's who you are. It was a true statement for him. Then he said, when I was a boy, I always saw myself as a hero in comic books and in movies. I grew up believing this dream. And of course, you know, everybody's got to have a dream. If not, they don't feel like their life is leading anywhere. And that's important to remember. You know, not everybody's going to be famous like Elvis or anywhere close to Elvis. But if they don't have a dream, it's difficult to see a path forward. Which is why you see with the mental health these days, people taking their lives. He also said, don't criticize what you don't understand, son. You never walked in that man's shoes. He also said, I'm trying to keep a level head. You have to be careful out in the world. It's so easy to get turned. Great advice for children and for young adults. He also said, animals don't hate, and we're supposed to be better than them. He said, truth is like the sun. Now, you guys say this a lot in your quotes in the comments. Truth is like the sun. You can shut it out for a time, but it ain't going away. He also said, sad thing is, you can still love someone and be wrong for them. That's a great quote. Of course, we've been talking about Priscilla and Elvis a lot, and that might go along the lines with what was going on. He also said, do something worth remembering, which is important. Be kind. People are going to remember that. People think you're crazy if you talk about things they don't understand. Man, that's, you know what? That's, I like that. I don't think I've ever heard Elvis, that Elvis quote before. He also said, the Lord can give and the Lord can take away. I might be herding sheep next year. That's Elvis's comedy there. Now, this is a great one with all these pictures of kids going by. He said, I figure all any kid needs is hope and the feeling that he or she belongs. If I could do or say anything that would give some kid that feeling, I would believe that I had contributed something to the world. That's the core of who Elvis was. Right there. That's the core. And what anybody needs to remember when there's slander against Elvis Presley and people trying to tear his legacy down or talk bad about him. Let's say that one more time. I figure all any kid needs is hope and the feeling he or she belongs. This is to the next generation of people that love Elvis. If I could do or say anything that would give some kid that feeling, I would believe I had contributed something to the world. Elvis understood that children were our future, you know. He also said, if you let your head get too big, it'll break your neck. And of course, more than anything else, I want my folks back at home to think right of me. He was always trying to do the right thing. From the time I was a kid, I always knew something was going to happen to me. Didn't know exactly what. Well, we know what. The image is one thing, and the human being is another. It's very hard to live up to an image. Let me put it that way. So Elvis Presley struggled, obviously, with the huge conception of, well, his beauty, you know, that he had to be beautiful, in control, powerful, the king of rock and roll, when he was just a normal person. He was just a man. He also said it's human nature to gripe, but I'm going to go ahead and do the best I can. So, you know, that's once again, the core of Elvis Presley seems to be kind, be a good example, take care of people, you know, be humble. And that's what a lot of friends and girlfriends said Elvis was truly a humble person. He also said, I'll never feel comfortable taking a strong drink and I'll never feel easy smoking a cigarette. I don't think those things are right for me. Now, he dabbled a little bit in it here and there, but Elvis didn't really drink, and he didn't really smoke. From what he said, he didn't really inhale the cigars. Um, to judge a man by his weakest link or deed is like judging the power of the ocean by one wave. So basically, he's saying, take a look at the whole me. And also, don't judge somebody, take a look at the whole of them. Well, thanks for joining me. This is Rare Elvis Photos on YouTube.